She said she'd be here. Funny, she's never been late before.
You wasted your time then, didn't you?
I did not. I did it because...
I got a fresh ass.
Everybody, it is 6:12 p.m. Colored People's Time. Really bad Colored People's Time. I had trouble starting up the stream. Like I said before, I'm doing dual streams between Kick as well as on YouTube. I did set up also, and I think part of the issue is that you could subscribe to Kick now by just going to vincegoodrum.com. But we're working out the kinks. I do need to check one other thing here. I mean, the good thing is that, you know, when it finally does get started, you know, it looks pretty good, you know, considering that I'm still streaming on a cellular internet. But welcome to Earl Grey Tuesday pregame event. We're going to smoke and chat for an hour, and then we will start reaction videos. So tonight, got a little bit of espresso coffee, and I'm going to put some of this in here, a little touch of Di Zerono. Now, folks, when I go on any trips or vacations or any hotels, this is what I get, basically. An Italian liquor that I can put into my coffee and doubles. Not only that, it's very inexpensive, so I'm going to go ahead and pour some in right now. Just a dab will do it. And, of course, got my water cup given to me by my good friend Pugman. Y'all be sure to thank Pugman. Of course, naturally, I do have my halfer. You know, got to keep the cost down and everything. Like I said, folks, got a budget there, you know. Just one of those things. But you know what? It ain't no thing but a chicken wing. Oh boy. Ryan! What's up, man? Just waiting on everybody to get in. Wonder where everyone's at. Let's take a look at... Let's see who's streaming right now. Well, nobody's actually streaming, and it's 6:15. Maybe people are still used to me coming in at 5:30. But in any event, do want to cover a couple of things. Let me just cut this off. So we're going to go ahead and check out some of the Frank Tufano stuff, and then we're going to cover the Johnny Somali situation. So let's see what we got here. Frank was up there playing that he's going out of business. Is he? Really? I mean, he's trying to do anything just to raise money. And you know what? I'm going to be honest with you that this shit is getting old. Oh, we got two of them. Heck, how about that?
Most of you guys are familiar with some of the negative things that have happened to me over these past few years. And the more you know, it really does seem like the whole world is against me. And I'm not absolutely certain that we're going to be going out of business, but what happens these next few weeks is going to determine that. You know, I've tried my best. I've applied for financial help here and there. Some things are pending, but I'm just really upset with how things have gone. And I've never been happy my whole life, guys. I've never had anything to look forward to.
Oh, cry me a river, as Justin Timberlake says.
I've never had a personal relationship. My life has been work since I got out of high school, and I haven't had one day of fun in my life. And the only thing I've done that I've had to look forward to is, you know, through my YouTube channel, through my business, to try to help people improve their health and their lives, because that was something.
All you've been doing is whining about, you know, your cross eyes and your leaky roof and your cars and everything else. I mean, half of your channel is about complaining. I'm going to be honest with you.
That really impacted me and really prevented me from doing a lot of the things that other people enjoyed when they were younger. You know, due to my liver health, due to all these things that happened to me, I couldn't enjoy life. So I set out on a mission to try to help other people. And it seems like, you know, this world really isn't set up for people that want to do the right thing. Whether it's, you know, the biggest factor, which is me getting botched and being physically disabled and having chronic migraines, which has caused me the inability to promote my business and also work and reduce my labor costs. That's probably the main factor here. You know, it's been 2.5 years now, and I can't even get out of bed half the days of the week, and it's really.
I mean, everyone's having bad business. I've lost over $20,000 last year from tariffs. You know, you just can't give up on business. You know, I've been in business over 25 years. I'm going to have 1 or 2 bad years. Although this last year was the worst. But these things happen. You got to fight through them.
Physically killing me to even come down here a few hours a day sometimes. And those of you guys that have been watching and following me for a while know that this harassment and these
Pugman, what's up, dog? How you been?
People stealing my ideas and research has gone back many years. Stealing the products has been more recently in the past few years. And then there's been some direct, like thieves, whether it's the HVAC contractor in this building destroying $200,000 of refrigeration equipment.
Now it's the Havoc guy. I mean, how many people you going after? You gonna sue him too?
The Chinese manufacturer destroying my potato chip machines, U.S. Customs losing $30,000 worth of Wagyu in a cargo container and always farting. I mean, it really never ends. You know, the 6 insurance claims last year that I was never paid out for. I still don't have a personal vehicle. My house is destroyed. You know, it's really a never-ending laundry list of things that I've never really heard of happening to other people.
Nothing personal, but you bring most of this upon yourself there. I mean, really.
People that have all come to this point, and it really, really upsets me every day that I've worked so hard, that I've done the right thing, and you guys have tried to help me so much, and then, you know, the people on my end, the vendors, the distributors, even the Amish farms, like, no one's really appreciative. No one seems to care anymore. But
well, everyone has their own problems there, Frank. Everyone has their own problems. You're not the only one that's having business problems, folks. I always think about my problems, but then the way things are, the problems I have, just remember somebody has it a lot worse than you do. You know what I mean? So, yes, I got problems, but guess what? There are people that have even worse problems than me. Like those ICE agents that are assigned at the airport. They can't wear their mask or anything. Me, personally, if I was working for ICE, I wouldn't care whether I have to wear a goddamn mask or not. Because guess what? I don't really have any family that really likes me, you know. Dox them all you want. Not my mama, just, I don't care if you did that to my daddy or my brother, they can take care of themselves, you know. Just keeping it real and telling it to you like it is, baby. Let me see this here.
start a GoFundMe, bro. You deserve some support. We try to. They take it down after a few hours.
Whoa, what does this say? Frankie has been scammed for hundreds of thousands of dollars and is no longer to pay his basic bills. Please help support us. Please help support us get through the next few weeks. We've been taken advantage of by other businesses. Chargebacks, defect. Yeah. Your GoFundMe is going to get taken down because of that.
All of these websites are owned by the same people who want me out of business. And the only people that are allowed to use these donation websites are in the club. So anytime you see someone successfully using a donation website, you should think twice, which is why I had to make the website savefrankies.com. And I'm getting deja vu because the day I made this website was a few months ago when we were having trouble, and then my TikTok account suddenly disappeared. So hopefully I don't get deja vu.
TikTok account disappeared for what, a 12th time? And you're probably going to set up another one too. He doesn't give up.
Second or third time, and we do get some traction, but I mean, I'm just completely over it at this point. You know, they want to destroy my business, and they will shadow ban and censor any attempts of me trying to get help, which is why I've been unable to do so.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So sorry. Let's check out this Save Frankie's website. I'm just curious as to what it looks like. So this here is the website. Frankie has been scammed for hundreds of thousands of dollars and is no longer able to pay his basic bills. Wow, he's done raised $1,000.06. That's pretty cool. He's got 10 donations in. Let's click this donate button. Wow, you know, I guess it does help. Using a standard WordPress site from what it looks like. Nice and clean, too. Oh, yeah. I like this. This is cool. Very cool. 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 $1,006, that ain't too bad. That is not too bad at all. Hey, Pug. Don't forget to subscribe to, go to VinceGoodrum.com and get subscribed to Kick. Like I said, you're always free to post whatever videos you want. Just let me know. I'm going to probably get something set up also. Well, you can't really do that on Kick. So any videos you want to see, you still got to put up on the YouTube community post. I wish Kick had a community post to where that can be published. Matty Matt, what's up? Been veggie maxing today, had 18 baby carrots and 2 bags of frozen broccoli. That sounds healthy. We used to do that back in the 80s. It was called juicing. Yeah. Nothing like the juice man. Yeah, I'll show you that classic. You know, whenever I was growing up, this guy would be on TV.
This substance must be consumed immediately. Now, this is what I was alluding to earlier. That's sugar water, less than 1% of your food value. This is orange juice, 100% of the food value. A fine coolant.
What usually used to get me is those fucking eyebrows he had.
Fine utilization of it will keep you from having insomnia, muscle cramping, premature fatigue. Tremendous.
Yeah, the good old juice man. And he would just sit there, a 30-minute infomercial.
In this peeling and just below it. In fact, the watermelon rind,
he would just sit there and do this here. And you know what? I found it pretty cool, Matt. And I'm going to be honest with you. It was always cool watching Juice Man. I'm telling you, folks, 80s infomercials back then, they were almost like TV shows. Now, shit you not, they were like TV shows. They used to be freaking cool. You know, you could go, I'm going to tell you this right now, folks. You can actually get a good cardio workout just by watching a Billy Blanks infomercial. You don't even have to buy the damn videos. All you need to do is watch the infomercial. You'll get a workout right there. He teaches the whole thing. That was the same with the Solo Flex. Literally, it's a 30-minute lesson on how to use, what exercises to use with the Solo Flex. Infomercials used to be educational. Now they're recreational. Period. Just keeping it real and telling it to you like it is. But I will say this here, Wes Watson got a 6 charge on him. Now, I'm not going to really play that 6 charge video or so forth, but he ain't getting out. The Wes Watson, it's over with for him. He will never see outside of those bars, at least until he's in his 70s, if that. He's not getting out, folks. He's just not. But I do got to play this video here for you. Check this out.
Ramsey Khalid
I found this one kind of funny, folks.
Ismail, aka Johnny Somali, has finally submitted an apology, but we are going to get into why it is too little too late today on The Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. Of course, this is a fast facts video, the quick and dirty version of the latest in legal news. So once again, delving into Somali's legal saga, we get into this ending part of the trial, because at this point, let me clarify, the trial, the case in chief, the presentation of evidence is done. Ramsey Khalid Ismail, Johnny Somali's trial is over, except for the date of sentencing and the date of the verdict. Except for that announcement, that's pretty much done. All the evidence, everything else needed to really already be submitted by now or by the closing date. And that closing date already passed as of last trial. And the last trial, Johnny Somali, RKI, did submit an in-court apology during his closing. Now, we analyzed that apology and we found it to be a really non-apology. And in my last video, if you guys check that out, after the trial, after he gave that in-court apology, he proceeded to attack Koreans, attack Korean culture, call them stupid, say they get destroyed in a war, say they were, all sorts of negative, nasty things about Koreans, and continue to demean Koreans.
I think Korea is one of the most stupid countries in the world. I don't even think Korea is a first world country. I honestly think Korea is probably
You know what I'm going to do? I just saw the one he just put 8 hours ago. Let's do that one instead. Ryan, we're going to do the Wes Watson one from Legal Mindset because I know John Bravo's is entertaining. I want to see what the guy from Legal Mindset says about Wes Watson's case. Let's check that one out instead.
Wes Watson has been arrested in Broward County, charged with 5 felonies, and now, based on his prior arrest, is facing having his bond revoked and sitting in jail pending his trials. We're going to get into that today on The Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. Of course, I'm Andrew Esquire, Florida
Chuck E. Cheese, what's up, man?
attorney, and we're going to be getting this today on a Fast Facts video, the quick and dirty version of the latest in legal news. So in case you don't know who Wes Watson is over here, he is, well, an interesting influencer. Maybe you could call him a locale at this point, but he has now been arrested in Broward County for 5 felony offenses, and indeed this is his mugshot right here, looking pretty, sitting there in Broward County jail. Now, what happened was Wes Watson was involved in a domestic altercation with his fiance, and we're going to be going through all the details of that on the actual police documents today. But he was already out on pretrial release pending a trial for his 4-on-1 fight at the gym in Miami, where he challenged someone to come out and fight him and then ended up in a very cowardly way ganging up on the guy with his buddies, beating up on him. That was happening in Miami at Elevation Fitness in Miami. So they were facing that, and he was out on pretrial release. But just
And you would think he learned his lesson, but nope.
now we had Miami prosecutors filing documents to terminate that pretrial release. We're also going to go through that today. But I want to remind everybody that the Cabbage plushies are now live. So if you want to get one of these Cabbage plushies, if you like my coverage of the Ramsey Khalid Ismail Johnny Somali case, you can get one of those in the link below that's pinned in the
What is it with him and those damn cabbages anyway? Oh, well.
comments and in the description. Thank you. So what is he facing? Well, right now the charges are serious. We're looking at robbery, that's up to 15 years, felony battery, 5 years, aggravated assault, that's another 5, tampering with
So this actually doesn't look as bad as I thought it would be.
essentially communicating
All of that would probably be They're not going to be consecutive sentences. That'll all be concurrent, actually. So probably up to 15 years.
with law enforcement.
But then he has priors, and he also has that whole other assault incident. They might get him on a 3 strikes rule.
Been tampering with that witness, up to 15 years, then false imprisonment, tack on another 5. The other thing is, because he is a repeat offender, or what's called in Florida a habitual felony offender, HFO, or habitual violent
Here we go, folks. Now pay attention.
felony offender, HVFO, that can tack on additional time and potentially double his sentence. So we're looking at very, very serious crimes. So let's look at the actual documents for what happened. Okay, so here we have the actual Broward County complaint affidavit that was filed against Wes Watson here. And what we have is we have this looking at robbery by sudden snatching, battery, aggravated assault, obstructing justice, false kidnapping, all this good stuff here. And we have a statement from the victim being his fiance, saying that they, the victim, and Wes
Let me correct you. Former fiance.
Watson have been a romantic relationship since January 2026. After 2 months of their relationship, the defendant proposed to the victim and asked her to move in, for which she resided on and off at his residence in Hollandale Beach. That's in Broward County. So let's get into the incident, which happened on March 15th. On Saturday, March 14th, the victim went to a Miami Heat basketball game with her female friend. After the game, Watson picked her up from her friend's house and they went to his residence. At this point, it was approximately 6 a.m. in the morning on Sunday the 15th. While they were at his residence, the victim stated that the defendant received a text message of a screenshot of her and her friend while at the Heat game. Wes Watson confronted her about her whereabouts, as she had not disclosed them, and she had gone to the game with a friend. The defendant began yelling at the victim, explaining he paid for her boob job, and that she was disrespectful for having her boobs out, and that those are my boobs. Also accusing her of cheating on him. The victim further elaborated this, was when Wes Watson freaked out against her will, forcibly grabbed her by the neck and told her, "You stupid little bee, that's where you were." The victim could not remember if the defendant held her with one hand or two hands, but caused bruising to her neck area. So there, guys, you already have the battery, the aggravated assault. You see these charges building up already. Defendant began to rattle and shake her by grabbing both of her arms forcefully. He continued to push and grab her by her hair and slam her on the floor. Then Watson dragged the victim by her hair on the floor and pinned her against the kitchen table. He pushed and grabbed, manhandling the victim's face, causing a scratch to the victim's right cheek. The victim stated the defendant forcefully pinned her back against the table, causing her back to bend and hurt. The defendant began yelling at the victim, "I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill your whole family." He continued to push the victim down on the floor with force and picked her back up, and forcefully against her will sat the victim down in a chair. Then said, during the defendant's physical abuse towards the victim, she yelled, "Help me, get him off of me," to three other witnesses who were present inside the residence. The victim elaborated that nobody did anything to help her or get the defendant, Wes Watson, to stop.
Of course they're not going to help her. Those are Wes Watson's goons. Why would they help her? They should, but they're goons. They're just as criminally insane as Wes Watson himself.
It should be noted the victim is 5'1" and approximately 125 pounds, while Watson is 6'1" and 245. It was at this point the victim...
He ain't no damn 6'1".
Elaborated, the defendant then grabbed her with his right hand by her hair and then slammed her head down into the kitchen table. This caused the victim to sustain a cut to her forehead, which began bleeding profusely. The victim advised she was in a state of shock, which she believed she had momentarily blacked out and lost consciousness. The victim explained her memory was fuzzy afterwards. The victim advised it was then that Wes Watson stopped beating on her and snatched her cell phone out of her hand. So that's where you might get the robbery charge popping in there. While holding a plate, the defendant threatened to break the plate on top of her head and told her he would grab a bottle and slash it across her face and break it on her head, and told her he would kick her face in. Wes Watson then told the victim to drink while forcibly pouring alcohol down her throat. It was at this point
he probably did that to make it seem as though she was drunk and she hurt herself there. I mean, that just makes the whole thing worse.
The defendant told his live-in assistant, the witness, to clean her up.
Raw food, what's up, dog?
So she doesn't stop bleeding. For which the witness cleaned her cut and glued her forehead injury. It was also at this point the defendant gave his friend, who was another witness to the incident, the victim's cell phone. The defendant had his friend look through her text messages, photos, and social media to make sure she's not cheating. The unidentified friend began instigating the defendant and his physical actions towards the victim. The third witness was the defendant's security guard, identified as a certain person, who told the victim to take accountability for her actions of wearing a shirt which exposed her breasts. So all of them were kind of in on this. The defendant did not allow the victim to utilize her cell phone or call anyone. So now we're getting in towards false imprisonment. The victim was forced by the defendant to tell her cousin she got the scratch on her cheek from derma peeling. Further, the defendant told her if the police were to have arrived at the residence, she would need to tell police she slipped on a rug at the residence. Throughout the altercation, the victim stated the defendant held her hostage, once again, false imprisonment, and would not let her leave. The victim tried to leave the residence, but the defendant feared she would contact police, and due to being on parole, once again pretrial release for that fight in Miami, he could not allow it. The defendant continued to verbally abuse and yell at her. The victim eventually fell asleep, and upon awaking, she wanted to leave Wes Watson's residence, but he would not allow her to leave. Continued proof of false imprisonment. The Wes Watson continued to tell the victim she cannot leave because her face was messed up, and you have to stay here for more days until your face heals up. The defendant told her if she went home, her parents would call the police on him, and I cannot go to jail. Well, buddy, you're going to jail now.
Exactly, you are going to jail. You did it.
Now, Wes Watson further stated, if I go to jail, something bad is going to happen to you, all of your victims, all of your friends and family. So this goes towards tampering with communication, preventing communication with law enforcement, making threats. That's a charge on there. The Wes Watson further implied he would have girls jump the victim in order to ruin her reputation. Wes Watson further told a security guard to make sure she doesn't run and have him stand by the door in an effort to keep the victim from leaving the residence. Victim stated she did not have her cell phone during the date of the incident, and most of the following day. She elaborated that Wes Watson had monitored her incoming text messages, and that one of the witnesses would give her the phone briefly and told her she needed to tell people she was okay and text them back. Other times, Wes Watson would act as if he was her and send text messages on her behalf, pretending to be her, saying, "I'm okay, I'm going to sleep." She advised she stealthily took possession of her cell phone. It was on the table while Wes Watson was getting dressed. Wes Watson threatened her by telling her, "If you want to keep your family safe, don't call the police." While the victim was seated in a chair, he lifted the chair with such force he dropped the victim on the floor. The incident, physical abuse, lasted approximately 40 minutes, but led into the following day. During this time, the victim was scared and afraid of the defendant. She believed he was capable of killing her, and then himself, as he said such to her.
Whoa, so that makes him pretty much... I didn't hear that part as far as threatening to kill himself. That's suicidal stuff right there. He needs to be in a suicide smock. Stat.
The victim stated that Wes Watson does have firearms in the residence, but unsure how many. So this details all the injuries: cut on the forehead, scratches, bruises all over on the knees, on the calves.
Nick Fuentes cooking insufferable tragedy.
Patty Matt with a $3 donation. What's up? Let's get that checked out, see what we got here. Definitely appreciate that.
Or just in general, that I saw that post from Ella Malding, and you know what? She unfollowed me on Twitter, so I'm just going to speak freely here. She had this post where she goes, "I want to marry a man that is so pure that he doesn't even get aroused by porn because he hates it so much." And it's like, you are insane. The idea that a man could look at graphic sexual images and not be aroused because of like the implied moral phenomena behind it, like because of the implied moral consequences of what had to happen to create it, is so insane. I don't even know what to tell you. I want a man that's so pure he doesn't even get aroused because women and girls are trafficked into porn. It's like, bitch, women and girls are not being trafficked into porn. I think that's a myth, basically. That's a load of shit. It's not that it never happens. It's not that it doesn't happen or hasn't happened. Let's be honest. There's a reason women are whores. It's because they get money. And they don't need to get trafficked. That's the easy road. A woman could either get a job or find a good husband, or she could be a whore. Whether she's, a prostitute or a porn star, or she's sleeping around with high status males. But that's it. And so the idea that they're the victim, oh, those poor girls in porn, they didn't want this. They wanted to be astronauts. And then a mean man made them what? Make $100 million a year selling nudes? I don't think so, sweetheart. Also, guys are never going to not be aroused by graphic material. Why do you think in Islam they don't let them show their fucking wrists? It's because guys will get aroused seeing the shape of a woman's legs and shoulders. Even if it's close.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, the culture sometimes weirds me out. They're going to get aroused even in that sheet.
Soaked in black fabric in the desert. That's why they wear a hijab. That's why Jewish women wear wigs. Because that's how powerful it is. That's just delusional. And they hate male sexuality. They hate it. And they use the trad thing as a cloak. They use the trad thing as cover. And it's a lot of Catholic women, too. It's a lot of Catholic women have become these Puritan hall monitors about porn and Andrew Tate and degeneracy and blah, blah, blah. Because secretly, they hate a male voracious sexual appetite. They want to control it. They want to confront it, defeat it. And that's bullshit. And that's actually part of the fucking problem. Part of the problem is that male sexuality is so inhibited and restrained. It's the men that aren't having sex. The women are having plenty of sex. It's the men that aren't having sex. It's the men that are having a lot of these problems. So,
not this man. I'm not having any problems here. I've already told you guys about what you need to do in order to get some puss. Take the advice or don't there.
Yeah, anyway. I saw that. It's like the day that a guy doesn't get aroused by a video of sex is the day that a guy doesn't have fucking balls. And that's the whole point, isn't it? It's like that other girl on TikTok where she said, I'm a 26-year-old virgin and I want a guy that isn't smelly, isn't gay, but also isn't too lusty. So it's like you want a man that doesn't want to have sex with you but isn't gay. Make it make sense. I want a man that doesn't want to have sex with me, isn't lusty, because that's what guys want, but also he isn't gay. But also he's super masculine. So you want a guy with no balls, isn't gay, but is also a big Chad. It's like, it don't work like that, sweetheart.
I hate to say it, but he is right, I mean, but the gay part there, gay men do want to have sex there, so, yeah. The thing about women is, and this is especially for black women, no matter how fat, no matter how gross, no matter how pimply, no matter how disgusting they are, they think that they have the idea that they can pick up a man like Denzel Washington with millions of dollars. Like I said, in order to get a man or woman of high value, you yourself usually have to be high value. Either that or you have to be the funniest person out there with the best personality. But usually high value men and high value women want like-minded people, period. Non-negotiable. But again, Matt, thanks again for the donation here. Where are we at as far as the legal mindset? Red Panda Bear, what's up? How's my week going? It's all right. I'll honestly say it's okay. Can't complain whatsoever. I really can't. I've actually been I'm going to be honest with you, I've been kind of down lately.
On her neck.
But, I think it's just because I'm still tired from having to travel for that funeral and everything.
On her head, on her shoulders, under her breast. So all of this stuff together was put together by police. So we have a very comprehensive record here, but that's not where it stops. So here we have a filing just now. This was filed recently by the Miami-Dade court. So remember, this case we just heard, all those facts are from Broward. Now we have Miami stepping in and saying enough is enough. So what we have here with Miami is Miami filing as the state attorney based on his charges in Miami for aggravated battery and felony battery, saying he was out on bond and was on pretrial release. Because of the arrest and because he was arrested on multiple felony counts, robbery, battery, aggravated assault, tampering with a witness, false imprisonment, this is in violation of the terms of his pretrial release and for a new law violation. And his bond should be revoked for violation of his release conditions. Wes Watson is a threat to the community and should be held without bond while his trial is pending. And mind you, these trials can take a very, very, very long time. So here's my judgment. In my judgment, this pretrial release is highly likely to be revoked. They are probably going to grant these things when they're filed. Typically, if they're filed, they're granted. There's more than enough reason to lock this guy up. So Watson is going to stay in jail pending this trial in Miami and likely pending the trials even afterwards, depending on how the Miami case comes out, pending that with Broward County. So he's going to jail now. That's happening. Factual. All this he didn't want to happen is indeed happening. And he's going to get harder sentencing based on his prior. So he is a habitually violent felony offender, HVFO, sometimes also HFO. That means he can get doubled. So all of that time in there, which adds up to decades, can get doubled. So I think even even conservatively, even if he takes a plea deal, even if he gets the lowest possible amount, I'm thinking a multiple year prison sentence, we're talking 10 to 15 years, is highly realistic given the facts and given Wes Watson's history. So I want to know what you guys think about this case and Wes Watson. Let me know in the comments below, and I will catch you on the next one.
I mean, if he takes a plea deal, he'll be out by the age of 52, but I don't think that's going to happen. He's an habitual offender. He'll be lucky if he gets 10 years. He still has that assault charge with that guy. He has a prior, and now he has this. He's going to get double. He's just going to get double the sentence. So he had better start pleading. He should get on his knees and start sucking the judge's dick. I'll just be honest with you. He needs to do that. But folks, so folks, I've went ahead and taken my VinceGoodrum.com and linked it to the Kick account. So make sure you subscribe to the Kick account so that way we can do reactions, because I'm no longer doing reaction videos on YouTube. I got community strikes. Account is close to being banned, so I'm being very mindful of that. Like I said, YouTube is no longer really the place for reaction videos. It just isn't. Like I said, I can do some safe reaction videos, but not the stuff that, you know, the fellow piss troopers deserve. You guys deserve the best reaction videos. Y'all deserve the funniest content. And that's the content I want. That's why I stream for, folks. Not so much for money or anything. Money is always good to have. But I'm always relaxed. Whenever I'm streaming, I'm always relaxed. It's very relaxing for me to stream and chat with you guys. Yeah, Dubs isn't definitely safe. And we'll get that video. We'll get all of them and then some. Gonna play some more Charlie Brown videos. I got some Cynthia Rothrock videos. Can't play those here because they're copyrighted. I can play those on Kick. Got a lot of good stuff. And then I'm working on one more video that I definitely can't play. I just gotta do a little bit of editing, and it should be A-okay. Yeah, the problem with YouTube is they want that sponsor advertising money. So they're acquiescing to the sponsors instead of the creators, which they can do that. The thing about it is YouTube doesn't want content creators like me. They don't want piss troopers. The stuff I used to be able to get away with a whole bunch of stuff. So did my cousin Vegan Gaines. Can't do that no more. You know, YouTube actually still goes back on my old videos and actually flags them. They're starting to do that. I mean, literally, a video that I put up 3 or 4 years ago, they go and flag it. Okay, Chuck E. Cheese, I got your channel here, so we'll check out some things. Yeah, there's a lot more piss on Kick. Not only that, I look a lot more handsome, too. Looks like I got some spam here. Goodbye. Ooh, I like that. It says delete it. So, folks, this here is the Kick channel. Y'all visit Kick. VinceGoodrum.com will get you there. We're going to play some dub stuff tonight. We're going to play some Cynthia Rothrock, more Charlie Brown offensive. We're going to play some really nasty stuff. I got a couple of fight videos from World Star Hip Hop. We can do anything. I can even whip out my cock and start jerking it off there, you know. I mean, I tell you. You know, the first video we're going to play is this woman that's stuck in a sewer. You know I can't play that on YouTube. But I can play it on Kick.
Video for the Kick stream.
Matt with a $3 donation. Yes, indeed. We're going to start that in about 3 minutes here. Yes, indeed. Go to VinceGoodrum.com, folks. Yeah, this one is straight up nasty right here. Seeing a whore in a sewer is the type of stuff my fellow piss troopers deserve to have. Period. You know, I think I'm actually going to play that whore in the sewer right now. Well, no. We're not going to do that. I'll get a community strike for it. Oh, yeah, I get more viewers on Kick because I can play the content that's expected. It took a while there, but people are now getting the idea that YouTube is shitting on people. And the great one has to make changes. Otherwise, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. YouTube's pretty much close to deleting my YouTube channel. I mean, they really are. That's why there's not many people doing reaction videos, or people are being very careful with it. And they're playing video games behind it while doing it. But even with that, YouTube still cracks skulls. But folks, it is now 7 o'clock p.m. It's time to head over the Kick, folks. So I'm going to cut this stream off. The Kick stream will be off shortly. And then it's going to come back up. So stay tuned, all right, folks? I will see you over there.